This is Yohhamgambal. We're back playing Digital Devil Saga. Last time we just saved Sarah from the solids and bats, thanks to Cielo. Of course, no one's going to actually give him the credit, even though he totally did save us. But other than that, though, we have Sarah back, but we need to get rid of bats because he is becoming a very troublesome pest. So we're just going to talk to everybody here real quick. Now, I was originally planning to do the secret boss in this part, but I feel like I'm not. You want to be like around level 40, and I'm not really quite there yet, so I'm planning to do it after probably not the next part or the part after that, but the part after that before some really important stuff happens. Because, I mean, he's not a very hard secret boss anyways, and by then I'll probably be around level 50, maybe even higher, but it's very optional. You don't even... The main point of it is to get an item for the second game, but even then the item is pretty... It's okay, but it's nothing really important. But, yeah, so it doesn't matter. So anyways, yeah, though, we need to figure out what we're going to do with bats, though. So it looks like we have a plan or an idea about what we're going to do. What it looks like we're going to do is we're going to go to a brand new coordinate. We're going to go to the deserted ship. But we're not going to go there yet, though, because we have a yellow key, and there's a couple of things we can get. There is a yellow key in the castle where we just saved Sarah, but again, I'm going to wait till we actually fight the secret boss to do that. It's just more items. Or Jill is feeling jealous. Ooh, about what? You know what's really interesting about that is that actually it kind of falls into the second game. It really bums me out because I've mentioned this before, but there's so much that the second game builds on this game that I can't talk about because it's spoilers. And even just saying that's kind of like a nod to the second game is already spoilers, and it's really hard because I just want to talk about all the cool little spider web they connect here, but I can't really do that. One thing I'm doing right here though is I'm trying to sell all the sell bonuses we have because I want to get a particular item that's basically a repel. Because, you know, you don't want to fight the weaker enemies. They provide very little reason to fight them. Very little experience, you know, that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, I don't have quite enough cells yet, and I don't have any cells, so just gotta... I just gotta do it the long way. So if you remember, there is a little yellow door we could get to over this way, and I just cut that out for you. Because you don't need to see me do it. It's pretty boring. All there is just a couple of items, but you might as well pick them up anyways because, you know, any little boost to your abilities is always pretty beneficial, honestly. You always want to boost up your abilities as best as you can. It's always a good idea. And you maybe want to spread them out to your other characters. I don't know. I just like giving it to the main character because I always use him. But, you know, you can spread them out if you wish. Power noise. Power noises are the hardest noises to get besides luck noises. So if you really want to, like I mentioned before, make like the best character, you want to put all of your points into magic. I mean, put all your points into strength and like luck, and then you can grind for MP noises, magic noises, vitality noises very easily. Agility noises, I don't know, but if you're putting you should have enough to put them all into strength and the rest that you don't into what is it? Agility, because agility determines whether your physical attacks will hit and whether you avoid physical attacks. So yeah, as you can see though, my main character's magic is 83. It's pretty high up there. I don't remember if I did any off-screen grinding. I can't recall. But yeah, though. I think I must have, though, because as you can see, they're starting to practice some new mantras. Yeah, I'm just trying to get them down their lines a little more, because that'll be really helpful. Don't fit the crying face. Yeah, I know. They do float in the ocean. Very perceptive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Sarah. Again, this boat. this boat in particular is pretty. It holds kind of, I guess, a lot of character development in the second game. It's pretty important. I really should stop saying that though, because like I said, I just keep spoiling everything by saying it's in the second game. You'll understand when it's in the second game, but we're not in the second game yet. We're still in the first game, and probably won't be in the second game for a while because I don't want to burn people out with too many RPGs. But I want to play the second. I want to record the second game really bad. But oh well. Oh, here we go. We're inside the deserted ship.
We have to destroy this ship?
We will spread a rumor that you are hidden here to get the attention of Bat and the brutes. Needless to say, this is a trap.
They show up expecting to find Sarah, and boom.
Hey, come on. Why don't we try somewhere else, huh? Guys?
The structure's material and design make this environment highly combustible.
Is it really that simple? I mean, they'll know it's a trap when Sarah's not here.
Sarah will be here.
Huh? Okay, this seriously won't work.
Why is that?
Obviously, Sarah isn't this tall, her hair is way different, and her arms ain't that thick. Oh!
Well, excuse me.
They only need to be deceived from a distance.
Boss, the brutes are here!
Already?
Sarah and Heat?
They left for our new headquarters a few minutes ago. I hope they weren't spotted.
They moved faster than I expected. We must hurry. If we do not, they will devour us.
Okay, let's do this then. Let's go!
Remain here and intercept Bat. He is sure to enter through the windows.
Understood.
Let us go. We will set traps for them throughout the ship.
I can smell that Sarah girl scent in the air. The woman's there too. There's no mistake. Varen.
Don't ever call me by that name. I am a colonel. Colonel Beck. That's right. And I even know who you really are, Angel. Now get me the hell out of here!
Very interesting. If you truly are the Colonel, you would know that is not possible. After all, it was you who requested this world be locked, was it not? You must open the door on your own.
Don't give me that Nirvana crap! How dare you speak to me?
On that day, everything changed. Now, each individual shall be judged by his karma. Even so, I pity those like you. I'm beginning to understand how this works. Allow me to help you. The bell shall sound, awakening the sleeping one. Seraphita, how long will your eyes remain shut?
Bring me that little punk and the cyber shaman. No matter what it takes. You won't get another chance.
Yes, sir.
Whew, man, a lot happened in that. Seems like the Colonel knows more than we initially thought. And if you remember, the first time the Colonel sees Surf, that is when his eyes activate and his emotions come to. So he seems to have a connection with Surf into this angel. So, I don't know. But, anyways, like Gale said, we have to go ahead and plant explosives all over the ship. And there's, like, 8, 9 explosives we had to plant. We had to plant quite a few, so it gets a little I wouldn't say tiresome, but this place can be a little hard to navigate if you don't know it. I kind of just say that for all the places, but thankfully right now there are no enemies, which is nice, but there will be eventually. Delicious tea after a long day of work. Sorry. Anyways. And just some medical kits. Those aren't really going to be useful very soon because one thing I like to do is just have most of my characters know the healing, the healing spell. Except for Heat. I never teach Heat the healing, but everyone else I do. It's funny though, because Heat's kind of the only physical attacker. That kind of changes in the second game, but and I guess you could consider Gale a physical attacker too. He's more of a mix. He's a special and a physical. He can really go either way, which does make him nice. But yeah, though that's what it is. Amazingly enough, the elevator still works in this ship. I don't know why I didn't until just now. I never really realized that ships have elevators. I don't know why that was kind of. I mean, it should be something that's like, duh, of course some ships will have elevators. They're so huge, but, you know, it's just something that I never really thought about. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Anyways, if you try and go the wrong way, Gale will just kind of turn you around. And again, thankfully there's no enemies here right now, but, yeah, this place still can be a little hard because if you miss a level, then you need to go and find it. And the levels don't always, like, there's just not staircases that go to the level from one another. Sometimes you have to go somewhere else to get to the staircase that leads you to the next level. So it can be a little confusing on that end. But, nothing too bad. Gale, where did you get these explosives? The C4. Oh well. Gale's pretty resourceful. He's a pretty resourceful guy. Sorry if you hear like a little bit of snorting and stuff like that. I just got over a terrible cold. Ooh, it was really bad. I wanted to record this earlier, but then I got sick, and this needs to get done because usually I don't let them wait this long before I record, but I've just been real busy and tired and sick, so it just, you know, didn't really work out that well. But, you know, that's life for you, right? There's not a whole bunch. Some of these rooms are sometimes empty, but sometimes you'll find some items. I do go through all of them, but excuse me, I just coughed there. I'm gonna have to edit that out. Uh-oh. Looks like we got some enemies. Capture the leader and the girl. Well, the girl's not here unless you're talking about Argilla, who looks funny as Sarah, just because she's so much taller. And Celio really needs to be careful, because Argilla's gonna kick his ass. Anyways, what we have here are the Nagi. They're nothing really too special for my understanding. They're just basically a tribe of half snake men. They're half snake and they're half human. And that's kind of it. From what it seems like, they're from Buddhist mythology, and they're the followers of another deity. He's one of the heavenly kings called Kumo Kuten. So, if I'm reading this correctly, yeah. And and also interesting to note, they're enemies of the Garuda, which is another kind of bird god, I think. Another creature in Hindu and Buddhism. And he's actually a boss later on, so we'll talk about him when we meet him. But yeah, they're pretty easy though. They reflect electricity, but they're weak to fire. They're easy though. They're nothing hard. They can be a little annoying just because we do have Gale, and Gale is weak to electricity. But we also have Celio. I can never remember how to say his name right, so I'm just gonna call him Celio because that's how I've always remembered it. Celio, you know, has Drain Elect, so if we ever need to, they're not too hard. And here we have another new enemy with the Nagi, Phantom, and they're just spirits or souls of a deceased person or animal sometimes. And sometimes they'll just reappear in the living. But interesting, sometimes they can come in different forms though. Sometimes they'll just appear as a shadow, sometimes like a will-o-wisp too. Or other times they'll actually appear as their previous form when they were alive, but just kind of ghostly. But they void physical, gun, and death, and they're weak to force and expel. Ooh, and there we have Gale using Stone Gaze, and I actually start using that a lot with Gale. Because it's actually pretty good on enemies that don't resist it, because you just need to physically attack them, and then they just immediately die. So it's pretty damn good. Yeah, it's pretty nice. We're leveling up, and our magic is almost completely to 99. It's a little crazy. I mean, I have a 500 HP. That's insane. That's really insane. This music's pretty good, though. Yeah, I have nothing to say, so I'm talking about the music. Here's another new enemy.
Okay, you asked for it.
These guys are pretty easy. These are Saria, and they're Shinto gods of the seashore. But they're considered the ancestors of the Azumi people. And the Azumi people are ancient people of Japan, if I'm correct. They void ice, but they're weak to electric and force. They're pretty damn easy. They are very not a threat. I mean, they do have ice breath, but which can sometimes freeze you. And they do have drain force, and I think they have drain elect too. So you have to be careful not to hit them with one of those when they have that out. But other than that, though, they're pretty easy. They don't provide much of a challenge at all. Yeah, this place is pretty big, though. So we have a while to go. And there's a lot of enemy encounters, too. There's, like, a lot. So, you know, just cutting them all out. Because it is a little insane how many enemy encounters there are here. I'm just looking at my video timeline right now, and I can just see all this edited stuff. It's crazy. Which is good, though. I like that, though. I think it works really well for this. Oh, we still can't go that way, though. He still won't let us go that way. But I want to, Gale. And he's like, no, you can't. And then I say, fine. We turn around and we leave. We leave. And I think I just save here. Because I'm being a little more cautious with saving after what happened that one part. So I'm just like, okay, let's just make sure we save. Because actually, I do die in this part. You actually do see a death. And I thankfully saved in a room like right before the event happened. So if I didn't, I would have had to come like all the way back here. So yeah, that really scared me, so I started saving a lot more. Because yeah, it just, you know, it's just sometimes you can just make one little mistake and then the game will just like, you give it an inch and it will take a mile. You know, sometimes, you know, you'll just be like, oh shoot, you know, he's gonna do Muda on me. Well, Muda usually pretty much always misses. Bam, one's dead. Okay, well I still have two. Other guy uses Muda again. Okay, it's like, well, I have death resistant on one of the guys, so it should be okay. Oh, bam, he's dead. Okay, well, I only have my left character left, and they don't use Muda, but then they use like a sonic wave, and so you're dazed, and then you can't do anything, and you're like, oh well, shoot, and it's just like, it gets nail biting sometimes. It gets pretty nail biting, so. It scares me. Uh-oh. An ambush. The Silver Fox. That's a pretty cool alias. They took the bait, man. All right, here we have a new enemy. These things are called the let me have it. Let me grab my paper. The Taowin. They have human faces, tiger bodies, pig feet, and an 18-foot long tail. So yeah, they actually are able to see to the past and the future, and they're also known as one of the 4 calamities in ancient Chinese lore, are also known as the 6 Ong. It's Sai Ong, so it's like Sixong. But they represent ignorance, misguiding man through its. I think what they do is they have like premonitions, and they misguide man through premonitions, throwing them off the course of enlightenment. And they're unvirtuous, and they also are shallow. So yeah, shallow desires. So yeah, and they're weak to earth. That's it. They can be kind of annoying because they use a lot of wind. And they also have Sonic Wave. Again, I hate... Daze is probably one of the worst status ailments in the game. It's really bad. Other than that, though, not too bad. Oh, good, look at that. Battle Demon. Not ever going to use it, but it's okay. Yeah, I kind of, like... I was going to give them all, like, some of the better eating moves, but then I was just like, nah, you know, I don't really need to. Once Surf learns the AP share, because I thought he had it already, but he had AP Divide, which just makes hunts give you more food. But I want an ability that lets him share the food with everybody else, so he can just hunt, and then they'll get a pretty good amount of AP. Because I mean, eating enemies work. Because a lot of the times I'm just grinding, so I eventually level up their mantra anyways, just because I'm trying to get their levels higher. So it just kind of all eventually works out. Anyways, here we have a new enemy, and these guys are actually very dangerous. The Chattering Skull. They're a Dominican myth. They're living skulls, and they have a piercing laugh. They void ice, earth, death, resist force, even though they just put a force thing up, which is weird. They're weak to fire, expel, charm, and panic. Now, what makes these guys very dangerous, though, is they have an ability called, I think it's Marching Skulls. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I actually died to it later in this part. It's basically a huge explosion that does a crap ton of damage to an enemy. So it's really dangerous. So you gotta be very careful about that. So yeah, they can be pretty dangerous, especially when there's like 3 of them and they start doing the attack that pretty much instantly kills you. It's a little terrifying, honestly. Alright. We're almost there. We're about a 4th done with this. That's good. So now I'm just kind of figuring out where I haven't gone yet. Thankfully, though, the little exclamation marks are helpful to remind you that, okay, I've already done this floor. So you know you don't have to go back there anymore, which is nice. Otherwise, you'd be even more lost. Alright. And where am I going? Come on, figure it out. There we go. Keep going. The ship can be a little confusing to figure out sometimes. It's like a dead end. What's the point of this place? Just to give you more steps so that you could possibly meet more enemies. One thing is, though, the elevator doesn't... Each elevator only goes to a certain number of floors, so you can't just, like, use one elevator to get to every floor. That'd be too easy, obviously. So you have to kind of use what's there and use what floors you can get to reach other floors with the stairs. So yeah, that's just kind of how it works. It's not too bad, but it can be a little annoying if you don't, if you're trying to figure out where one room is. Because if you don't explore, you're not going to find the rooms. But if you do, it's not too bad. And now we finally learn Mabufala and Ice Drain, which is pretty good, because Mabufala is better than Frost Breath, because Frost Breath will randomly hit enemies. Sometimes it'll hit the same enemy more than once, which can be nice, but it doesn't do as much damage as Mabufala, so that's nice. And Ice Drain is better than Void, because you get health back. One thing is, and we got Ice Boost, so that's... No, we've had Ice Boost, I think. Oh, yeah. One thing you want to be careful, though, is, you can get, like, an element reflect, but I wouldn't recommend it because a lot of times when an enemy uses an element on you, they also can absorb it. So it's better to just absorb the element instead of shooting it back at them, because sometimes that might do damage, yeah, but most of the time it's just kind of a crapshoot. So I would honestly rather just get health back than possibly throw an attack in their face that will heal them or not do anything. I mean, the best case is that it doesn't do anything. I mean, the best case is that it does damage, but then after that would be it doesn't do anything, but it doesn't make them better. And then the worst case would be like healing, and then I think if they can reflect it, then it might reflect right back off and onto you. I don't know if it would just keep bouncing. I've never seen it, but I imagine it would bounce off you and then just hit them. So yeah. I wonder if you could do like a Final Fantasy thing where an enemy can reflect magic. You shoot it at your guy here, and then it would bounce to them. But I don't know if it would actually just reflect onto you. Actually, you can't do that because you can't target your own allies. The only time you can target your own allies is for spells that benefit them. You can't make attack spells target them, so that wouldn't work at all. So that's kind of a moot point. Never really thought about that before. Alright, another explosive down. Man, this music, so good. Bam, bam, bam. Delicious tea. Sorry. Okay, here's a new enemy. These are the Chizai, but they're spelled with an X, which is interesting. They're Japanese mythos, but they're also known as the Kachi. They're goat-like creatures, and they have the horns that they have on their heads. They use it to strike evil fiends. But they also have the ability to see through lies, and they also appear on Earth occasionally to punish the guilty. They avoid poison, but they're weak to Earth and mute. They're not that difficult. They're pretty easy, honestly. Alright, we're almost through the enemy list. We only have a couple more, and then that's all the enemies. She's nice. I'm looking at my timeline, and I just see all these cuts. Oh, hey, there's bats. Our friendly neighborhood bats.
Too bad Sarah isn't here, sucker. Flying can't save your ass in here. There's no escaping this time. Why did you sell to not out?
Ask your idiot friend. He'd do the same thing. Oh, but you'll never see him again. Not after I devour you. Janana was delicious.
No, you bastard!
Oh, Bats, Argilla, can't you just get along? It is too bad Bats is evil, because from what we've seen, Bats is a pretty capable fighter. He's pretty devious, too. It's like I said, it's a shame that he's not a part of our group, but we already have a flying guy, and he's way cooler. I like him better. I personally like his... I just realized I haven't talked about Celio's Avatar Tuner yet, and I don't have the notes for it. You know what? I'm going to do it next part, okay? Sorry about that, viewers. I completely slipped my mind that I don't have the notes for him. So, I'm going to do that in the next part. So, sorry about that. His is actually pretty interesting. It's actually connected to Argilla's, I believe, heats. Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, his Avatar Tuner is like a daddy to a lot of different deities. That's the one thing that's really funny about mythology. And I've recently been playing through God of War, and you know, I remember I was saying in Drakengard how I wasn't super excited with the new way it was looking because it looked like The Last of Us, and I have to say I kind of have to change my mind. I think it's pretty fun. I don't think it deserves 10 out of 10 masterpieces. I think that's a little silly, but I think it's a pretty fun game to play through. But that's aside the point. But from what you know, because I've been playing that game, but I've also just been doing a lot of research for these. Gods in mythology, they're real. Like when it comes to babies, they're really weird. Like they don't make any sense at all. Like it is really strange how some of these things have like kids. Like I don't even know where to begin with one. It's weird. It's weird because it's like how are you that thing's parent? You're that thing's parent? You can't be that thing's parent. It's weird, but it's interesting though. This game has really made me rekindle my interest in mythology. I really like mythology a lot. I forgot how much I liked it. It's so interesting, and even I just love like the ideas behind them, and like one of the aspects I really like is that a lot of, I guess this is where my Drakengard love comes in. A lot of mythology is pretty damn dark and ends on a bitter tone. and that's something that I kind of like. I kind of like that. I guess I wouldn't say the word somber because it's not, but just kind of a. I don't know how to describe it, but those kind of endings I really like. Okay, so if this is the part of... Okay, so this should be... Anyways, more brutes. Silence them. You got it, boss. Oh, right, I'm the boss. Yeah, I don't know. Just mythology is really interesting. Oh, no, this isn't what I was thinking it was at all. Okay, well, anyways, we have a new enemy here. The bird in the middle. That's Gur. It's a Hindu and Buddhism myth. It's said to be, you know, an evil and carnivorous giant eagle. But interesting enough, what makes Gur kind of interesting is, if you remember, we talked about a deity before with the Nagi that fight the Nagi, Gerudo, which is also a giant bird. It's kind of like a giant deity Birdman thing. We'll talk about it later, which is a Hindu god. It's a lesser deity from Hinduism, I believe. But it is believed that Gur is a demonization of Gerudo, which is kind of interesting. So it's kind of like a lesser form, or I don't know exactly what they mean by demonization of it, but I guess, I don't know. But it avoids Earth, obviously, because it flies, but it's weak to guns, electric, and expel. It's actually one of the few enemies weak to gun. But again, don't use gun. Never use gun. There's actually a skill, once you beat the game, you get a skill where you can play through the game again, on New Game Plus, where you can have it where your characters always start out in their human form. And I just think, why? Why would you do that? And then I think, I wonder if there's ever been a challenge run where someone has gone through the game completely human form. I don't even know if that's possible to do. It makes me wonder, is that even possible to go through the whole game in human form? Because if I remember correctly, when you're in human form, you can't use any magic. The only abilities you can use are your bullets. You can use special bullets. But even then, you need someone else in their Avatar Tuna form to fuse their magic with your bullets to make like a force bullet or an earth bullet. Otherwise, you can just use a really strong pierce attack, I guess. But that's kind of it, though. So I do wonder, though, if someone's ever gone through the game completely just as the humans. So that'd be I actually kind of want to look that up. I almost kind of want to try that myself. I can't imagine how hard that'd be. You'd have to do a lot of grinding. And I would imagine you'd also have to put all of your main character stats into you'd have to put them into agility. I think attack too. Because I think bullets are determined by your strength. And then vitality and probably also luck. So you have a better chance of critical hits. And sometimes bullets have like special abilities, like they have a chance to freeze or shock. So yeah, you'd have to really have that luck stat maxed out, and your HP and agility too, because I'm pretty sure it's considered a physical type move. So, and if your agility's low, then you're gonna miss a lot. Plus, you probably wouldn't want to get hit very much either, so you'd want to really make sure that your characters can avoid that. But on the flip side, I can see the few positives I could see about doing that is you have no elemental weaknesses. They take neutral damage from everything. So even if Surf was in his human form and got hit by fire, he's no longer an ice avatar anymore. He can just take the fire. And you also null, expel, and death. So again, that's kind of a nice thing, right? I think you expel death. I'm not super sure on that, but I know you expel. I know you null expel, so that could be nice. And you could always get by maybe by using items like, yeah, you could use like fire bombs or landmines and elemental wall items to probably get by. You know, and I'm genuinely curious. I kind of want to do that now. That could be fun. Really hard, but fun. If I ever stream, like I don't know, I've always kind of wanted to stream, but I just wouldn't be able to, because with my whole family situation, it'd be kind of hard for me to consistently stream. Just doing this right now is really hard to find time to do it like this, so trying to stream would be impossible for me at this moment. But maybe one day that could be like a challenge. Go through the whole game in just human form and nothing else. I kind of want to do that now. That could be a really fun, weird experiment. All right, so here we have kind of this is actually pretty dangerous here. These guys are actually pretty dangerous. As you can see, their physical attack is nothing to scoff at. But again, that's not why they're dangerous. They're dangerous because they have a very special move, which they haven't shown yet, but it's going to come up fairly soon. Yeah, I actually want to try that now. I don't know if anyone's ever done that. So yeah, maybe that's something I'll do. Maybe that's something I'll do for myself. Maybe that's something I'll save. Like I said, if I ever one day get to stream, that could be like a fun little streaming thing I could do. Yeah, I don't know. That could be fun. I don't know. But I don't actually know how to stream because I've never looked into it. I've never really been interested in streaming because it's just, again, I just know it wouldn't work with my home life, so it just wouldn't work. Okay, Death March. This is the move you have to watch out for. It hits everybody, and it does a shit ton of damage, and yeah, that's what happened. I like how he's just like, how could this happen? There's something about that quiet silence and just the wind blowing that I kind of love when you die. Well, and there you go. That's what happens when you die. But anyways, thankfully, I saved in the other room. That last save we had, I saved right there. Because when that happened, I was so worried I was going to have to go through a good maybe 20 minutes or more back to get here. And then at that point, you start rushing. And then you start skipping items. And I don't want to do that. Because that's not good. So, I'm very happy that that worked out. And I'm starting to be a little more careful. I'm trying to get their physical attack down. Because I don't, you know, their physical attacks are actually pretty darn decent. Thankfully, we're going to be getting a better ability for Gale soon, because Shockwave isn't that good. See, look at that. That's a pretty good percentage down by like 20 damage down. That's pretty nice. I don't even know what I'm doing. Come on. Come on. Figure it out. Yep, there you go. Good job. Let's use some Expel. I like the Chattering Skulls. I like the way they look. They're not too hard, but again, though, that Marching Death is very dangerous. I like the way they sound, too, when they die. They go... They have like a little clack. Thankfully, though, I'm ready for this Death March. I think Death March is a physical move, so it's okay. Yep, there we go. So yeah, just be a little careful of those guys. I don't think you ever run across them, though, after this level. Maybe you do, I don't recall. But anyways, though, with that, definitely need to heal. I don't know if my main character had that healing spell in the last part, but yeah, he has a really good healing ability now, so that's really nice. And I think I only have like one more to do. Or I'm just checking. Let's see. Did that floor? Yep, did that floor. Did not. Oh, I did floor 5 already. I did floor 6 too. And did floor 7. Alright, so it looks like I think I need to do floor 8. But other than that, though, it looks like we can start heading back to wherever I want. To where Argilla is. Hopefully she's doing okay, but I don't know. Like I said, Bats is fairly strong, so you don't want to underestimate him. He's pretty heartless. I don't know why I did that 360, just trying to make sure there's nothing there. And I ran away from that fight. You'll always know if I ran away from a fight if the screen transitions from white. If it's a white transition, that means I ran. If it's black, that means... Or if there's no really any color, that means I won the fight, obviously. But white means I ran away. Not in this part, but the next part, I run a lot because the enemies there are really annoying. And I was just like, I just want to run. And I was like a good level too. I was like maybe not over leveled, but slightly above what you really need to be. Oh good, and here we learn Thrones, which is good. Expel, Resist. You definitely want to put that on your character, and I forget to do it, and I don't do it in the next part either. But you really want to get Expel, Resist, and Expel Death as soon as you can, because those are helpful. And eventually you can get Null Death and Null Expel. The Expel isn't as important as the null death, but it can be because, you know, it like halves your life, which can be pretty, it's like a super fang. So you gotta really be careful about that. Alright, and I think I'm still, yep, okay, here we go. I gotta heal again because these enemies are really kicking my ass. Yes, I want to go up there. Of course I want to fight the brutes. That's why we're here. We're here to take out as many as we can. Alright, and here we have the Shuku. They're just ice enemies. They're named after water, and they can freeze anything. So here their history is kind of interesting. They're controlled by the, I'm going to butcher this name, so excuse me, the Fujira no Chikota family for war. So they were like, controlled by this family. And the Fujira no Chikota family is a noble family around the Heian period. So that's 794 through 1185. So, yeah. That's interesting. And they actually have a couple of other monsters that they control too that we'll fight in the next part. But they avoid ice and death. They resist ailments, but they're weak to fire. So yeah, and one of the interesting things about them is they'll actually there's not a lot of enemies that combine their attacks together. There's some, but these enemies consistently combine their abilities together to try and really hurt you. So, and there's Ice Drain being more useful, because if you reflect it, it's not going to do anything to them. Oh, nice. And love paralysis. Get some good damage off on them. Yeah, they just need 2 to be able to use Muboof dying. Is it Muboof dying? I don't know. But you can actually scare these guys, so then you can eat them. Consume! I like the way the Consume looks. It's great. I like the little scared marks, too. They're so scared. Jeez, still alive. Yeah, they're kind of, I don't know, they're not too intimidating, though. I like the way they look, though. Wow, but this guy's just not dying. There we go, finally. But got a pretty good amount of experience for that, which is really nice. They were delicious. They tasted like sherbet. I could go for some sherbet right now, actually. But my favorite ice cream is still chocolate mousse, but sherbet could be nice too. Alright, we're nearing the end of this place, thank goodness. I'm surprised. There's one enemy that you is it? No. Okay, I'm thinking of somewhere else, sorry. There's these little corridors you can go into, and there's sometimes items in there and sometimes not. I don't think there's anything good, though. There might be a noise in one of them, but even then, I don't remember if there's anything worth the trouble, because you have to go through more enemies, which is kind of, you know, annoying. That's always kind of the drawbacks, like, ooh, do I explore? Oh, okay, there was a magic noise. That's actually pretty helpful. I don't know. I mean, it's usually better to explore as much as you can, but sometimes it's just like, oh, I just don't want to fight any more enemies. Look at that magic, 94. Whew. Man, that's nice. My main character's packing some serious magical heat. Well, I guess magical chill? I don't know, because he's... Yeah. Anyways, here's a almost said sun terminal. It's not a sun terminal. It's a small terminal. I like the symbol in the middle. It looks like a rose. And for some reason, I don't get mantras yet. I think I forget to grab a mantra because it's like... Or you know what? I might not yet because I just might not have enough money for anything. Because, yeah, the mantras get really, really expensive. So, yeah. I don't know if I forgot to or what. But, okay. Guess I'm going. Bye. And more. No cabins. Nothing in this one. So that's pretty useless. And that just takes us to where we need to go, so we're not going to go that way yet. Oh, and I think there's an enemy in this one. Yep, there's an enemy in this one. And, okay, these things are Mothman, so we have to fight some Mothmen. Mothmen are actually interesting because they're actually an American mythos. They're said to, so Mothmen are said to be creatures that were sighted in West Virginia around the mid-1960s, and sightings of like giant winged creatures with giant, huge reddish eyes. But it was thought to probably be just like a sandhill crane or a barn owl. So this is kind of around the time too, I believe, where UFO sightings were a big deal. So these were in conjunction, kind of what you would maybe hear people talk about, like UFOs and Mothmen. But they reflect Earth, but they're weak. I'm sorry, they reflect electricity, but they're weak to Earth. So yeah. I think other than that, we're almost done with the monster. Oh, there's only one new monster. There's only one monster left, and that is the boss, I believe. Yeah, no, it's not. Sorry. Okay, good. Now, Gale actually has some better magic, because before he was just using the medium. He was using Shockwave, which really isn't that good this far into the game. But now he actually has Manzina, so that's just the medium-sized wind, which is better. Because his magic is actually pretty decent. It's just that Shockwave just isn't really that good. Again, it's decent in the beginning, but because it's not very consistent on who it hits, it will sometimes hit one enemy 2 times and then another once, which in theory can sometimes be nice, but sometimes you just want to hit them all. You know, it just doesn't really, it's kind of, yeah, it just doesn't always work. And it also does less damage too, I believe. I think it does a little less damage to what the medium force magic would do. So yeah, you gotta watch out for that. And there's nothing in here. I don't know why there's some empty rooms, but you know, whatever. And another level up, and I think, look at that. Oh, yeah, I just stopped even trying to not put in the magic. So it's like, it's all going in the magic. It's a magic man. Surf is a magical boy. Okay, and that takes me out here. I think that other room, yeah, I don't know why I'm exploring so in depth. Oh, actually, no, I think I do need to go this way, because I think where I placed the bomb is in is in the room coming up. So it's actually good that I explored so intensely. Otherwise, I would have missed it. Yep, good. So yeah, you got to make sure you really check every corridor and room, because if you don't, you can easily miss one of the rooms. And with that, all the bombs are placed, and now we just need to meet up with Argilla. Hopefully she's doing okay. She's probably fine. She's probably okay. She's tough. I mean, Bats is weak to Earth sometimes, so she should be able to handle him. We've already fought Bats twice. That's crazy. He is a tricky little man. Don't get his star attack too. And there's nothing in... Oh! Nope. Go back, Yoham. There's something in there. Yep. Good. You saw it. Good job past me. But I don't think this is an enemy. I think it's just a cell. Yep, an organic cell. Those really don't trade that much, I remember, if I remember correctly. Man, all these windows are broken. Every single one. Alright. And then we just go to the main hallway. I think I go back to heal, because we're coming up to the boss. So I wanted to make sure that I was all prepped. Yeah, see, this is just the main hallway that links us to it, so it's all good. It's thankfully on the way to the healing station, so that's nice. And I think I get new mantras. What do I do? Okay, save. Alright, I was being really cautious. That shattering skull really scared me. That spooked me. So I'm just being ultra cautious now. But with that though, the plan's set. Preparations are done. We just need to go get to Argilla, so we can get rid of a whole bunch of brutes, and hopefully we can even get rid of Bats. Finally get him out. Finally get him off our backs. He's been very troublesome. It's been very annoying. Now we just got to get all the way past this. No, oh no! Now we just got to get past this deck. Jeez, whatever I fought there really took a lot out of me. My goodness. We're almost to the level 40s, which is nice. Which is the kind of... You want to be around level 40 to fight the secret boss in the castle, but we're going to be a little higher than that. Not that he's too hard. I could have probably beat him at the level I was, but, you know. We'll just do it after we deal with all the tribe leaders. Oh, and here's a new enemy you can occasionally run across, and they're actually good for grinding for MP noises. So these are Helsvingers. They're are also known as the Corpse... So, I don't know what I wrote there. Corpse Swallower. Also known as the Corpse Swallower. He's from Norse mythology, and he's a giant eagle. And he lives on top of Yggdrasil, which is the holy tree. It's the tree of life, I think it's called. It's the holy tree, and that tree links all the realms together. But it's often in conflict with Nidhogger, who is another creature. He's actually a boss we'll fight later on. Actually, probably, yeah, actually very soon. Nighthogger, who lives at the base of the tree. So yeah, but he reflects ice. He's void earth, but he does not like gun or electricity. He's actually pretty annoying because he will use... I don't remember what that ability is, but the ability he just used has a chance to daze you, poison you, mute you, charm you. It's very annoying. So he can actually be kind of annoying, and he also has a mind charge, so he can make his magic even stronger. No, he has power charge. Okay, not mind charge, but still. Thankfully, though, I killed him right there, and thankfully I didn't heal him, because sometimes when your character is confused, they'll heal the enemy. So I thankfully did not heal him. That would have, because my healing would have healed him at full. It would have fully healed him too, so that would have been really bad. But thankfully, did not come to that. But we're pretty much at the end of this place, which is nice. We just need to make it back to Argilla. Again, I'm sure she's doing fine. That'd be funny if there's like an alternate outfit costume where you can make her just wear Sarah's clothes. There's not. There's no alternate costumes in this game. But that would have been funny. Trying to think of what other alternate costumes I would want for other characters. I don't know. Alright. You definitely want to get that, because if you continue to go down that line of mantra, you'll get a Dejecta, which lets you... It's either Dejecta or the other one where it lets you get rid of all the negative stats on you, or all the positive stats on your enemy. So that's really helpful. And then eventually you can get Debilitate, which makes all their stats go down by 1. Which is very good, but it's an extremely expensive ability. But it's really good, though. It's endgame useful stuff.
You're no different than me. How many have you devoured, huh? We eat to survive. It's only natural. You're just like me. Come on, admit it. Say it, bitch.
Alright, it's time for the Bats Fight 2. He's very much in the same. He doesn't he's very much in the same like the past fight. Except he's a little stronger. His Psycho Rage gives him way more turns, as you can see. And he also has one new ability. But he does not call for help, though. Well, actually, he has a couple new abilities. He can curse you, but that's not too big of a deal. And the way to kill him is still very much in the same. You just have to wait for him to guard and then use Earth. But he has a new ability, which is actually pretty dangerous. But we'll have to wait. So you really want to bring someone with Earth, like Argilla. So I just get rid of Celio, because he's not going to do much. Yep. Look at that, 224 damage. That's pretty rocking. And yeah, he'll use Force too, so you want to get rid of that too if you can. Unfortunately, I can't really do much with Surf except for throw items. But you know, that's why they're there. Yeah, it doesn't do nearly as much, but hell, it gives you an extra turn so that the real powerhouse for this fight can do some damage. You gotta watch out for his Psycho Rage though, because he gets a lot of extra turns. It's a little crazy. So yeah, I'm waiting for him to use his new ability yet, but he hasn't used it yet. I mean, he does in this fight. He uses it actually quite a bit from what I remember. Oh, here it is. This is the new ability. He shakes his little booty around, and he transforms you into a bat. And this is actually pretty dangerous, because it halves your health, I believe. Yeah, I think it halves your health. And you're weakened considerably. You can still use all of your abilities, but you're very much weakened. So it can be a little annoying. Whoa, that did a lot. It can be a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world, because you can still, like, really hurt him. I like how when they use their abilities, they spin. I don't think I think I used all my Earth items. Oh, nope, I still have some. Good. But yeah, as you can see, we're just kind of tearing into him, and then... Yep, you can use Earth moves, Johan. Use them. There you go. Yeah, see, so, yeah, not doing nearly as much. It doesn't last very long. It's very similar. Well, it's actually it's similar to the Persona 5 status ailment where you get turned into a rat, but not nearly as bad. Because when you're turned into a rat, I don't even think you can use any magic, if I remember correctly. Here, you still have the chance to use magic. It's just not as strong. But you definitely want to use force, something with force, something that will either remove his force, because his wind attacks can do quite a bit of damage if you're not careful. So it's not necessarily a good idea to have Argilla out here just because of that, but he knows, whatever. And yeah, look, he turned everybody into a bat. It's a little insane. But yeah, your defenses are down too, if I remember correctly. Look at him, he's being all cocky. He didn't even guard. Ooh, 4 damage, man. I'm packing some major heat. But yeah, just kind of giving everyone evasion up. So that's really good. And just, you know, making sure everyone can take some wind. That's a really cool ability, though. This is the only enemy, though, that can do it, though. You'll never run across another enemy that can do that ability. So it's a little shame. It'd be cool if you could learn it through a mantra, but you don't. Well, the Midia just is not doing enough. Thankfully, though, we get her some better healing soon, but Midia, as you can see, is just not stacking up. Yeah, Wings of Hell can be pretty dangerous, though, so you need to be careful. But my main character is still a bat, but he's kind of on healing duty, so that's fine. So is Argilla, because Earth doesn't really do anything to him when he's not guarded. I think it actually voids him when he's not guarded. Even the guard. But he's just kind of being stupid now. He's not using any of his... He's not really, like, doing anything. And for some reason, my main character is still in his bat form. Like, for a long time. I was actually surprised how long he was in it. God, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I love the guitar in this game. The music is so good. He's just like not doing anything. He's like making this really, I wouldn't say easy, but more tedious. This is like a tedious fight. He's not like doing anything, and my main character is still stuck as a bat. Yeah, just keep using Force Drain. He'll heal me before, you know, he'll heal whatever, most of the time he'll heal all the damage. His Spiral Edge isn't really that dangerous. I mean, I guess my main character's about to die, but that's not too big of a deal. Thankfully, it's not one of those games where if your main character dies, they all die. I hate that kind of stuff in RPGs. I really do. That stuff drives me crazy. That's like the worst. Yep. Alright. Thankfully, though, this fight is almost over. He doesn't have that much health. He really can't take that much abuse. He's just... This fight would have gone faster if he wasn't guarding, but he just did not want to guard. I like when he gets hit, though. I like what it looks like. The one time I didn't use wind. I mean, the Force Drain. Oh, and I forgot to mention, when you're turned into a bat, you're weak to wind. You're weak to force. So ooh, jeez, that's gross. When you're turned into a bat, you're weak to force. So yeah. So that's why you definitely want to have at least something that will negate the force damage. Otherwise, yeah, if you're all bats, it will actually do a lot of damage, and he'll get extra turns. So you gotta be dangerous.
Oh man, you three are heavy.
Do you realize we could share the same fate as them? We all hate, we all fight, we all devour just to survive. But eventually we'll die. I couldn't defend myself. We aren't any different from him. What's the point then? Why live like this? Why are we even alive? Surf, tell me.
Can I just mention how good the voice acting in this game is? In particular, Argilla's voice acting is really good. Like, they're all really good, but Argilla in particular has always stood out to me really good. But you know what, though? This is where I'm going to end the video in our new base. So, yep, we need to talk to Sarah. Oh, hold on. Okay, well, hold on. Looks like I'm talking to everybody first real quick. Let's talk to everybody first real quick. But, yeah, though, with that, Bats is gone. Bats is gone, finally. We don't have to deal with him anymore. So that's good. Very happy about that. And you can hear Sarah singing her prayer in the background. Thanks to that song, we don't have to worry about our characters going starve hungry. At least for a while. I don't know how long it works. It's missing something. Interesting. What is it missing? A wicked guitar solo. But you know what, though? I'm going to end the video here. So this has been Yohhamgambal. Thanks for watching. See you next time as we continue playing more Digital Devil Saga, and I hope to see you in the next part. Okay, bye then.